Today, we're diving into the 15 things that confuse most visitors, to how they greet you, to how they never, ever wear sweatpants. And I've learned this the hard way walking into a store saying, excusez-moi, instead of saying bonjour, and I got a stare that could freeze the sane. Have you ever wondered why the French sit at a cafe with one glass of wine for 2 hours, or why your soda arrives with no ice? Yeah, welcome to France. Now, some habits are charming, but some of them will test your patience. So are these quirks rude, strange, or secretly brilliant? Maybe the French are living smarter than all of us. Let's uncover those 15 things that French people do that shock many tourists. Allez, on y va. The first one in that series has to do with people sitting for hours nursing a cup of coffee, a cappuccino, or best, a glass of wine. You know, we have this culture in the United States. You order something, you eat it, and you get out.
They want to flip the table.
So you feel guilty and everything. Absolutely not here. In the culture here, you can nurse a glass of wine for hours, and they'll sit and they'll talk.
And I've been too many times like, oh, we better get dessert. We've been here a long time. Or I better tip really well because we've been here a long time. It's designed that way. Everybody does it.
By the way, if they're asking you to move along and everything, which may happen, that means you're right across a tourist attraction. But a regular cafe in a regular street, yeah, you can sit there for hours.
And the only exception that I would say, they won't chase you out. But if you're getting towards the end of a lunch place that closes between lunch and dinner,
yeah,
they need to go and take a break.
They have a hard cut, like around 2:30, 3 o'clock. They'll close and they won't reopen until 7. So, you know, they'll close the place. Yeah, that's true.
From my childhood, I remember all of the jokes about French people, like, you know, and even Robin Williams makes jokes about French people smoking.
The shocking part is that in the United States, smoking is literally banned from everywhere. But in France, you'll see a lot of people smoking in the street, smoking in the cafe, outdoors. We still hear that, you know, we went on a terrace in a cafe and, you know, I couldn't believe it that the people next to me were smoking, and I was...
As if I wasn't even there.
Yeah, the law says you cannot smoke indoors in France, but outdoors is fair games. Not everybody smokes outside, but
it's expected.
And if you actually see ashtrays on the table, that's a clue that you will have smokers next to you. So just be mindful of that.
If it matters to you, pay attention.
Yeah. The French don't tip much, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. This is not a tipping culture. We do tip. What we mean by tipping is we round out. For example, 25, 50. We may round out to 26, or we may round out to 30. But the 20% tipping culture like we have in the US does not exist here. And we've had that conversation with waiters in restaurants, and I'm like, please don't say that, because we love Americans because they tip so well. But the problem is that we hear about restaurants that are actually asking for tips, especially if it's Americans. The service is included in the bill.
And we still do leave a tip.
Yeah.
And the reason that we do, partly just, you know, supporting the places and stuff, we're a little bit disruptive. We take their flow of work out of order because we take longer with each course, or people stop by and ask for a selfie. Like, different things happen with us. If they're doing extra translating or helping you with suggestions and, you know, a little bit above and beyond, it's appropriate to do something, but it doesn't need to be 20%. And we've heard from a lot of French people, it's like you're trying to impose your culture on ours, and it's not necessary. Use your discretion.
Yeah.
The next thing that shocks a lot of people, especially Americans visiting France, is French people don't do ice. I remember my mom drank ice and everything, like tons of ice, and she would have a hissy fit over here, but they don't do ice. They don't do the refills. If you have a second beverage, you're gonna pay for a second beverage.
Yeah, if you order a Coke, you're getting a Coke. Do you know one of the reasons why they don't have so many ice cubes in most of the drinks?
Why?
Because they're purists. Because there's like, oh, you wanna...
water it down.
Yeah, and if you wanna offend a French person, put ice in your wine and just watch them. It's actually fun. But you know, you cannot taste the Coke anymore. It tastes like water then, and I'm like,
bah oui.
Bah oui, it's like that.
If you want ice, for sure, you're gonna ask for des glaçons.
Yeah, and don't be offended if the waiter looks at you like people don't have an ice machine. So, you know, ice is going to be a challenge if you love ice.
Ask for it and be okay if you don't get it.
Right. The French have rules for everything. They actually have rules about rules. There is il faut et il ne faut pas. Around
the things you do and the things you don't do.
Exactly. How to eat charcuterie, how to cut a cheese, how to drink wine, how to hold a baguette, how to say hello. I mean, they have rules about everything. And yet, They are very famous for breaking just about every rule at every corner they can. The French are, you're just waiting in line and they'll just cut. And they'll just, the line is, it's not for, c'est pas pour moi, it's not for me.
They'll walk past you like you don't even exist.
And they'll be offended. They're like, moi? But I am not cutting. I'm like, yeah, you're cutting, buddy.
Many, many years ago, I heard about playing the American card because their expectations, like, oh, she doesn't know better. Play the American card if you need to, but don't expect them to do the same. And if a French person cuts you off in line while you're going into a museum or somewhere, expect it, let it roll, it's not worth fighting about.
So the next one, being in France, is that we kiss each other when we meet each other, when we greet each other. It's either 2 kisses, 3 kisses, 4 kisses. I don't know what the rule is. And one of the things that was actually shocking is more in the United States, is when I arrived in the United States, someone would, open their arms, like especially a man, would greet me, or mwah, and I would give them a kiss because
it's an automatic reflex.
It's an automatic reflex. And then I've had a man say, hey, easy boy, I don't swing that way. And I'm like, you kiss every single person in the party. If there are 15 people in the house when you arrive, you will give 2 or 3 kisses to each person. And I remember Colleen looking at me as like, do I have to do that to everyone? And I'm like, yes, hon.
Every single one. It's common to do to that, that's normal. If it's a special occasion or a holiday, then it's And if you go down south, I've seen 5 kisses. It's a little bit.
No, that's too much. It's only, it's like.
Maybe it's after 5 drinks, you do 5 kisses. I don't know what the rule is, but I've seen anywhere from 2 to 5 kisses, and it's funny.
Men and women, women and women. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even children, you'll give them a kiss. It's our culture, and it's a tradition here.
It's a simple greeting.
It's a simple greeting.
In America, you can stop by and say hello for an hour, a couple of hours. If you go to a French house and you stay under 3 hours, they're going to think you're rude. Antoine's mom came to see us in the U.S., and Antoine told me, yeah, everybody's going to be gone by 9. Like they got there at 7. And she's like, no, don't tell me that. Don't think you can just stop by for a quick hello. That doesn't happen in France.
The hello is going to take a long time. Then there's going to be apéro, which is at least an hour and a half. Then there is the meal, which is at least 3 hours. And then the goodbyes are also forever. If you would leave after 2 hours in France, people would literally think that there is either something wrong with you, you didn't feel well and you had to leave, or worse, you're not happy with the party, and then you left.
You had a bad time.
You had a bad time, and people would be genuinely concerned. The next thing that is shocking is the time that we eat, especially lunch and dinner. It's very standard to invite them like around 12:30, 1 o'clock. This is when people arrive at your house, and then you're going to be spending at least 1 hour with just drinks. Then we are going to have the meal around 2 p.m. And dinner is the same thing. More like, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then you'll have dinner at 9 o'clock. And considering the parties just last forever, and you're like, oh my God, if I get there at 9 o'clock and we're going to eat for at least a couple of hours with French people, I'm going to be there forever.
You go to dinner, you're coming home tomorrow.
That's no doubt.
Another thing you're going to find in a social setting in a French home is that they will talk about all kinds of things that Americans wouldn't typically talk about.
It literally happened like a month ago. We went to my brother's house, and within the first 5 minutes, my brother made a sexually referenced joke. We talked about politics. And then religion was also addressed. Well,
there was a sexual joke about a priest that led down a whole bunch of things. Like some laughing over here and some over there. Let's say they're speaking in rapid fire French, and you're not really at that level yet. You could think there are bad arguments going on because they get very passionate about it. It sounds like an argument.
Yeah, it sounds like we're fighting, but we're not. We're just arguing.
Don't be put off about that because in 5 more minutes, they're all going to be laughing and talking about something light and fluffy before they go back to talking about crazy stuff.
And the next one, which we've addressed in other videos, is always start with bonjour. And I remember when we moved back here in 2021, I walked into the grocery store and I went to the lady and I says, excusez-moi. She raised her head, looked at me and she said, bonjour. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm like, bonjour, madame. And then I'm like, I'm sorry.
Where is the mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Like if you're in a store or any place of business and you don't start with that, and the person on the other side is feeling disrespected, imagine that you may not get the best service. If the waiter comes to your table and you just say, you know, like, I'll have the cheeseburger, like, oh no, no.
I was under the weather, so I'm like, let's go to the doctor. And we were in a provincial town, and there was like 10 people that were already in the room. So we go in there, right? And then someone said bonjour, so we said bonjour, and then everybody in the room said bonjour, 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 bonjour. Oh my God. And then we sit, and I remember Colleen looking at me, I was like, okay, that's a little weird. The bonjour is key to, it's actually your hack to friends. So the next 5 have to do when you're out and about. When we go back in the United States, I go in Target or I go in Walmart, and I just cannot believe what people are wearing. French people dress up even if it's to go to the grocery store, to go and buy some bread. There is no sweatpants, no flip-flops, and I have seen tourists wearing shorts, flip-flops, and sweatpants, and it's perfectly fine.
Nobody's really judging you if you're dressed up. They're just gonna know you're not Parisian.
For me to go to the grocery store when we're at home in the weekend, yeah, I wear sweatpants at home and a t-shirt, and I'm casual and everything, and she says, can you go to the grocery store? I gotta put on pants, I gotta put on a shirt, I gotta put on a, you know, I gotta comb my hair, and I gotta go.
All of it. It's just not done by the French.
Yeah, no.
The next really shocking thing for me is that in France, men pee in public. On the walls, they have open urinals that just kind of spin. It's just.
I don't know, I'm talking about a urinal. I mean, that's like
in the wall,
tree.
like,
yeah.
On the side of a building, wherever.
Well, actually, one of the things is the lack of bathrooms. I mean, there's like.
Yes, there's a lack of bathrooms. Where do the girls go?
For the ladies, I feel really bad for you,
but the guys just go.
Yeah, for the guys, there's no bathroom, and you're like, I gotta go, and it's like a tree is fair game.
It's shocking and it's gross, period. In the U.S., you go and pick up your Starbucks, you go pick up your whatever, just go out walking from here to there, enjoying it. French people will not buy something and eat it on the go.
Well, actually, a pain au chocolat, yes.
Well, like they'll walk and they'll sit somewhere, or eating something is to be enjoyed, having a cup of coffee is to be enjoyed.
Do that with an ice cream. Yeah, an ice cream you do. Even culturally, they passed a law that is outlawing people cannot eat at their desk. Even if you want to, I'm like, now I'm in a rush, I have a project, it's like, it's really not culturally appropriate.
Another thing that Americans find shocking in France is that French people will stare at you. Like, they don't smile at strangers, so don't expect them to. This goofball. But no, they stare.
At least in the US, they look at you, but they'll pretend they were not looking. But here, they'll just look at you.
They just keep looking.
And you're like, and we don't smile at each other too.
No, you don't. The funny thing for me is somebody said that Americans are like Labrador puppies and French people are like cats. And that's it.
That's true. Most of the shops will close midday. They'll close at noon and they'll reopen at 2, sometime at 3. That's valid for the post office, pharmacies. And one of the main reasons is that, well, they need to stop for lunch. And since we don't eat on the go, and we don't eat at our desk, and we don't eat behind the counter, well, they'll stop. They'll go make some food, sit down and eat it, and they'll come back. We actually will go grocery shopping at 1 o'clock because we know that the grocery shop, our big grocery shop will be open, but we know that most of the French people are out having lunch. Less in Paris near touristic stuff, but if you go away and you go in a neighborhood, you're gonna find many of the stores are closed between 12 and 2, and the French manage themselves around that.
Yeah, exactly. In this video, we told you about shocking things that you might experience in France. And next, I would watch this video about 7 things you wish you knew before you came.